Jove Baker-Sullivan, first of all, thanks for joining us on the show again.
Thank you.
Okay, you joined us about a month ago to talk about the Black Lives Matter protests in Birmingham, but live music is something that's very near and dear to your heart, and the campaign's been running all week, Let the Music Play. Just tell us a bit about how you feel about the lack of live music.
Live music's very important. It has existed in its very fairly meek form of being live streamed online, but there's nothing quite like going to see some live musicians. And it doesn't just happen music. People practice, people get together to rehearse as a band, and people train and people study. Yesterday I was part of the Cocoa Mad Festival over in Cotteridge, and that was brilliant. You know, I played 3 times, twice with a band called Irish and once with Lobster. I just jumped on their set because they're my mates. And, you know, to see people just in the room enjoy that live music, you know, just the volunteers and the technical crew. It was really, really powerful for them to see live music again. It's very near and dear to my heart as a full-time musician.
Apparently, the medical experts tell us that it's dangerous to sing. Singing transmits the virus, apparently.
It might transmit the virus, yes. And apparently, woodwind is the worst. If you play the flute, that's supposed to be the worst. But so is letting hundreds of people gather at the pub, or so are supermarkets. Why hasn't the government said everybody do online shopping? Lots of things transmit the virus. I do understand why people are worried about instruments and singing being one way to transmit the virus. But there's workarounds and there's still ways that you can support live music.
What's your favourite music venue in Birmingham?
That's really hard. That's too hard. You mean ones that will still be open after COVID-19?
Okay, your favourite one and the one you're looking forward to going back to once it all becomes available again to you.
I think in Birmingham, my favourite one to play at would have to be the typical Hare and Hounds, because that's in King's Heath.
Yep.
The sound system is reliable. It's easy to play. It's a well-known venue, so people actually turn up. All the rooms are nice. All the sound men are, if you pardon the pun, sound. So it is quite a pleasure to play there as a musician. There's a reason that place has such a good reputation.
And you're sitting at your piano right now, for the benefit of those who are watching the video, or those who can't see the video, who are listening on Switch Radio right now. And as a special treat on a Sunday lunchtime, you're going to play us something.
I will. Well, why don't I play that rather cheesy, stereotypical ABBA's Thank You for the Music as a way of honouring this live music campaign.
Wonderful. Jove Baker-Sullivan, take it away. Lovely.
Thank you.
A round of applause for that.
Yeah,
it's rare we have live music on this show, so that is wonderful. So realistically, we're talking 2021 at the earliest before any of the music venues can open. But when we saw that the live music industry at all levels, not just great festivals and big arena shows, but the little local pub venues as well, brought in £4.5 billion to the economy last year. That's something that generally the government don't tend to ignore. So you'd like to think that there is a plan in the offing to get the music venues open again.
You're right. Normally, us musicians are all about, you know, the more intangible things, the just the love of the music or the artistic side of things. But you are right. If there's hard and fast figures, what did you say? 4.5 billion will be
Four and
lost.
a half billion pounds, yes.
Let's hope that at least that will help us lobby for live music sooner and safer and in a better way, so more people can enjoy live music. And importantly, musicians can stay in live music. There's nothing wrong with having a job on the side as well as being a musician. Absolutely not. That's what most people do. But as soon as you stop giving people that simple incentive of being able to be paid, especially for a Friday and Saturday night, they're not going to do that practice. They're not going to invest in the equipment. You're not going to get a live band for your wedding, for a pub. People aren't going to be able to put on gigs like they used to.
Which would be a terrible shame. You know, we've seen the decline. Well, I said the decline during the lockdown period. We have seen the rebirth of some record shops in the old-fashioned sense.
Is that right?
That side of the music industry. So what I was about to say was it'd be a shame to let the live scene go the way of the record shops. But some record shops have sprung up. We ran a poll last night on Twitter. We picked a select few famous music venues in Birmingham, asking our audience which is their favourite. Yeah. And the winner of the poll, I don't know if this will surprise you or not, was the Flapper.
Oh, right, yeah, the Flapper.
So okay. It's obviously been in the news for other reasons because there's people involved. I think that seemingly want to make sure it's never a music venue again. And there's those who are wanting to save and preserve it. But the Flapper is a favourite amongst our audience.
Can you tell me some of the others that were on that list?
Oh, I picked them, so you'll have to forgive me. So the Speaking Lounge was another one that I went for, and also the Institute in Digbeth.
Yes.
And then another category for other, because there were just far too many otherwise. But
well, for some of us, for people like me, the jobbing live musicians, to be honest, the venues don't bring in the dosh. I conduct a lot at churches and big halls. So there's this whole other area of consideration when it comes to live music that isn't covered in this particular culture. Probably that's part of your campaign for live music. There's so much other live music. There's the music that goes with plays at theatres. Mm-hmm. There's also the music at church. There's the music with choirs. There's the music with concerts. And certain communities also benefit from live music. One of my favourite gigs every year is the Women's Institute, where I get to play as part of their little pantomime. And these are in big halls with excellent acoustics that aren't on the map and that aren't part of the sort of the traditional music scene. Ironically, it's very, very traditional music, music that's 300, 400 years old, but it's not part of, you said, the Institute in Digbeth and the Flapper. It's not in that category, and yet in terms of people turning up to go and see someone play some notes live, very, very integral, very important, very, very big